best ingredients are right in the mix.
Dukect here live, of course, here on the Dukect Lounge, and of course Tommy Dreamer is bleeding, of course, as always. He's a bleeding mess, and he's taking on Eric Young, and I think this is a hardcore match. I don't know. It's TNA at this point. I don't know what's going on anymore, and I've been watching for a while, so it's going to be something like that. It's going to be very, what's the word, interesting. And, what have you. And by the way, everyone's excited that the Pacquiao-Mayweather are finally going to do it. It's going to do, which is cool, which is finally going to happen. Hooray. But anyway, but, I think it's way past due. It should have happened 5 years ago. But yet, shocker, Mayweather. Maybe it took this time, Mayweather took so much time because he wanted to read the contract. Maybe that's why it took so damn long. But anyway, okay, back to the point. Look at this. Eric Young looks like he's in trouble. Oh, the superplex onto the table. Ouch. And there he is. And man, Tommy Dreamer, of course, I don't know who cuts more, Tommy Dreamer or Ric Flair. I think Tommy Dreamer is getting up there at this point. I don't know. Is it just me? But that's just going to happen. And maybe that's just my personal thing. But anyway, well, I'll talk a little about, some stuff that happened this week on wrestling. Let's talk some wrestling. Let's talk a little Ring of Honor. And there was a rumor going around today that there was supposedly, for the past couple of days, there have been rumors that Ring of Honor is in negotiations with Spike TV to bring a weekly Ring of Honor series to the network, which a lot of people would say that would be the death knell TNA, would bring wrestling, true wrestling, back into the forefront, and Ring of Honor will save it. Even though right now, funny thing is about Ring of Honor, people say it's going good. It's not going so well right now because they're worried about about this. It's just NXT's touring. NXT is touring around and everything else. I mean, that was word from Meltzer, and I'll put the link in the description. And and Tommy Dreamer loses his impromptu hardcore fight with Eric Young. Yay. But the match was okay, but it's just, I see hardcore matches every other week at Impact. It means nothing anymore. Just once. I want to see gimmicks, no hardcore gimmicks anymore. If I, personally, I just want regular matches and then have special, personally, if you're going to do hardcore matches, make them important, not every once in a week. And people want to say, oh, well, this is what happened in the Attitude Era. They do this all the time. Well, let's be honest, this is not the Attitude Era. They need to move off from that stuff. Let's have one-on-one matches again. Let's build it up to make them special again. But that's just my personal thing. Let's see. We have Mickie James coming down to the ring. That's interesting. Let's see. I don't know what that is, but anyway, back to the point. This is from Meltzer from Ring of Honor. This is right here. I'll put the link in the description. Right there, it says, there's a lot of talk within the wrestling world about how NXT touring will affect Ring of Honor, particularly since there are there are Ring of Honor budget issues this year, which is one of the reasons Alberto El Patron isn't expected to take any more dates past the ones he's already booked, because his price is so high. The idea is both appealing to fans who want high action matches with guys who aren't known to the masses. NXT top stars include Ring of Honor favorites, and they have more buzz about them right now. Ring of Honor still reaches far more markets because of television, but the people who actually attend the shows may be coming from the same pool. The concern expressed is more if NXT runs shows in the same markets anywhere near the same dates, and that's more the big markets because the odds are that won't happen in smaller markets. I don't think it's a major thing because it'd be rare if both groups run in the same market. It's a close proximity when NXT starts national touring. But it feels like they're going to be competition for their hardcore fan base, and to an extent they already are because of who NXT is built around these days. While one may argue that the wrestlers are the keys to NXT, like Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Sami Zayn, Hideo Itami, Aaron Neville, Charlotte, Sasha Banks all should be on the main roster now, and most all rights should be WWE by the time NXT starts touring, and the rest of the time most is not at the level of the top ROH guys. But the reality is that a lot of ROH talent isn't under contract. Even some that are, when they have deals expire, the best in ROH are the young guys right now would probably be the next guys recruited in NXT. It's almost inevitable that most marketable guys in ROH will be contracted about making NXT the next step, particularly when it comes to filling the void where the top stars of today's NXT gets called for the main roster. For years, the type of guys headlining ROH were usually not the guys that we were looking for, but that's changed greatly with the success of Punk and Bryan, and all the NXT crowds have increased so much using former ROH Access Top guys. Yep, and if this looks like, and that could be really a problem, and this is something and everything else, with what's going on, which something a lot of people, people say, oh, if Ring of Honor did get this deal, this would be a huge bonus, but it looks like it's not to be. There's, if we look at pwinside.com, link in the description, Mike Johnson, he says that there have been no talks, no truth between the negotiations between Spike TV and Ring of Honor in the past, present, or future. In fact, Spike TV is looking in a different direction in wrestling right now since it just dumped Impact Wrestling onto Destination America. Personally, if I was Ring of Honor, I would try to knock up, called WGN, the WGN network, even though it's not as popular as Spike TV, it's still more homes than Destination America. And I honestly think they were interested in Impact, so maybe they should start calling them instead of being in the syndicated market and probably the budget concerns of what Ring of Honor is doing right now, which is the same problems, which, funny enough, got them into the whole broadcast deal with Sinclair's group. It's, I think this is going to be something of a negative. I think it's going to be something that the Ring of Honor is going to have to really do something. I don't know what it's going to do about. I don't know what's going to happen with Ring of Honor if it keeps going in this dire straits. It's in very dire straits that Ring of Honor needs to change for the most part. I think they need to do something positive. They need something big. If they don't do something big soon, I wouldn't be surprised that, Ring of Honor will be, again, in the same position, closing up shop. Which they almost closed up shop before Cornette talked to the guys at Sinclair Broadcasting Group. Until then, and I think, that's a really, really big problem. Anyway, oh yes. Oh, by the way, I got guest 2 here. Thank you so much. Congrats on the Freaking Awesome Network partial. No problem. Thank you so much. Guest 2, whoever you are. Again, humbled. Again, thank you. I'm gonna see if I can put this video portion up on the Freaking Awesome Network as well. You know, that sort of thing. Because a lot of people were happy about that. So anyway, again, I'm thankful for people at the freaking Awesome Network for letting me have a shot and a platform for me to express my opinions and such. So again, I am humbly thank you for that. Thank you so much for the fan. Anyway, so much to the fan. Anyway, Ring of Honor really does need these things. I don't think it's going to be very. I don't know what's going to happen for Ring of. I don't know what they're going to do about Ring of Honor at this point. I don't know. I have any ideas talking about Ring of Honor. I don't know what they're going to do. But I think if they got a TV deal, you know, something to get out of syndication, because syndication died. This is not the early 2000s. Syndication is dead, and they need to really get a TV deal. And if I was them, if I was not Spike TV I'm talking to, I would talk to WGN, and after WGN, you know, maybe somewhere else, you know, that would carry the network, maybe Spike TV in a later date. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to the Dukect Lounge live here on TalkShoe.com. Guest 2, thank you so much for joining me. If you want to get into the subject, remember, tell your friends, tell everybody else to get here live on the show. Remember, if you want to call into the show, the number is always 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. The call ID to connect to me, Dukect, is 92417. Once again, the call ID is 92417. Next up, we're going to be talking some, speaking of CM Punk and everything else, the next segment, we're going to be talking about a lawsuit that CM Punk and the head doctor of the WWE is involved in. Yeah, it's going to be a bit crazy here. And I don't know what's going to happen here. But this seems to be very interesting. I'm going to be talking more about that after the little song here. We're going to play something, let's see, what we left behind. Let's see, no, I don't. I think it's, no. I want to play something with Sonic in it. Let's see. Play something new. Alright. You know, I haven't played this in a while. Sonic, see, you're going to play Sonic 3 from ocremix.com. Thank you so much for joining me. Anybody and all this type of stuff here live on TalkShoe.com on, you know, you're not hearing me live, you're hearing me on YouTube, and you're going to hear myself on the freaking Awesome Network forums, Zipcast, YouTube, wherever, SureCat.com, or wherever and whenever. So thank you so much. And here it is, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, What We Left Behind, a remix from ocremix.com. We'll be right back right after this here. Back live here in the Dukect Lounge. Phone number as always, is 724-444-7444. Once again, the number is 724-444-7444. And the call D to connect me, Dixie T, is 92417. Once again, the call D is 92417. Oh, CM Punk, CM Punk, CM Punk. What in the world have you gotten yourself into, CM Punk? You know, the old saying is that if you have, if you tell the truth, you have nothing to worry about. Which I hope he is. Because Phil Brooks, I hope he is telling the truth. Because if he isn't, he's going to get sued, and a lot of his integrity and everything else will be gone down the tubes with it. Because, well, when Philip Brooks, a.k.a. CM Punk, had his little bit of an A-bomb podcast with him and, Colt Cabana, Colt Cabana, a.k.a. Skull Colton. This guy, yeah, it got a lot of people talking, and a lot of people who are very negative. In fact, a lot of people have the whole Z-Pack meme and everything else, and all that stuff, Lord, everything else like that. But now, the doctor, the head doc, Christopher Amann, is suing. He filed suit yesterday in Cook County Circuit Court, and he says, quote, he never treated the lump on his back, the one that turned out to be Mrsa, and it looked like he was going to die if nothing else happened to it. If he didn't get any surgery or anything else, he would have died, which, some would say, that's really bad, stuff like that. Like, how in the world would you not treat this? Staph infections, Mrsa is no joke. You can die or lose limbs. I mean, I know, again, it's something you don't screw around with. And then he said, concussions. He said it was a moronic concussion test and such. He said, he said he told, he said it was a stupid, a lot of people say that, he said, get back in the ring and stuff like that. He didn't really care. In fact, I think he said, in the lawsuit, Amann said he never treated the lump in his back, and also he followed the entire proper protocol for concussion, which included telling Brooks, aka CM Punk, to leave the ring. He said in the podcast, Brooks said that he did not exercise the ghost because he was lazy, and it got so large and dangerous that it had teeth, according to the podcast. The lump, it says, quote, in the podcast, the lump morphed into a full-blown, life-threatening, drug-resistant staph infection. Wow. And another doctor treated, which honestly, this will all be true. If the other doctor, they had to pull the doctor to the stand to prove this story. And if it's somehow true, then it comes a he said, she said type thing. And trust me, people, it's really hard in the United States to sue. In fact, now in most courts in the land, it's pretty hard to sue for a libel because it becomes, if it's truthful. If he could prove without a shadow of doubt that CM Punk is lying, but also knew that he was lying, you have proof of that, and you have to have proof of that. And I don't see at the whole other day, I don't think it's, I don't see that actually being proved. I don't see, honestly, how he's going to prove that without a shadow of doubt that CM Punk intentionally misled. I don't know. I wish I could tell. I wish I could be like, okay, what's up, this. But I don't see it. In fact, then again, before I heard about this, I looked at Jim Ross about this. Jim Ross, he actually had an article saying about this whole situation, and he's like, no, I mean, he didn't believe that. There must have been some mistake. I think I gotta look for this thing right now. There was something here. It was yesterday. I can't believe that. And I found this. It was like, wow, this is it's again something that what JR said that quote, no way, he would never do something like this. In fact, here it is, the big lead right here. A long conversation with Jim Ross, part 1. And he talks about Ric Flair, this, that, the other. He talks about this stuff, about Ric Flair, really cool stuff. But he's now talking about right here. Link will be in the description of this as well. Is this that right here? He says right here about the medical allegations and such. He says, quote, I was very this is JR. Says, quote, I was very surprised to hear that because I know from experience that the WWE has invested untold sums of money on their medical staff. Full-time doctors, full-time certified trainers, CTE testing, and things that are actually being followed by so many other leagues, sports leagues. I know that the health of the performance is a high priority, and that any time I ever had an issue that was job-related or in the ring, I always got excellent care, and I communicated with the medical staff on a regular basis. They called me when I was home. I was obviously not trained in ring performer. I did a lot of bits that I could equate to being a crowd on ice, and I was a little clumsy and untrained. But I was casting that role for the show, and so I did my job because I certainly could cash the checks. So I was surprised to hear that. I'm not disputing his claim because I wasn't there and I haven't seen the medical records. But the issue is that it seems like it comes back to communication. If I was in Punk's place and maybe he did this, I don't know, and I was displeased by Dr. Feedback, I would have gone to Vince after that and said, I believe that diagnosis is incorrect. I don't know if that ever happened. Wow. I don't know. I'm actually with JR here. It probably is a miscommunication. I wouldn't be surprised that this might settle or something like that because I don't see the doctor selling because if CM Punk says he's going to fight, because honestly, CM Punk is for all of his, good positive, he's honestly truthful and he will fight. And honestly, CM Punk's going to fight this. And honestly, what about the ramifications if this doctor loses? I mean, what happens to the settlement that WWE had with Punk? Is that going to really help or hurt that situation? I don't know. But I can tell you this, that this is going to be really, really interesting. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to get really ugly. And if this comes out to be 100%, like CM Punk said, this is going to basically destroy his reputation. I don't know what this UFC thing is going to make himself really harder than everything else. But also, if it's reversed, I honestly think what is the WWE going to do if it comes out to be 100% the doctor's line? What is WWE going to do? Are they going to have to fire this person? Are they going to fire him? I don't know. This is something I just don't know what's going to happen here with this whole situation. Anyway, by the way, TNA is having their 20-man gauntlet, and Crazy Steve. By the way, people love Crazy Steve. I admit I like this guy too, but oh no, look at this. He's trying to help him out. Look at there goes Austin Aries, which by the way, I have no idea why he's in here because he has the briefcase, but I don't know. TNA. But anyway, back to my main point. I don't know what's going to happen in this lawsuit. And if it does, this lawsuit I think it's going to be the credibility of one or two men, credibility of the men is on the line. And I just hope that the doctor knows what he's doing because if this comes out that it goes against him, if this goes against the goes against him, I think this basically destroys his practice. It destroys his entire practice, and I think it's going to basically, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised that it just, I wouldn't be surprised by, just grow his career and CM Punk's credibility as well, including Colt Cabana and everything that's on financially, but also, again, with his credibility. So, anyway, I'm going to take a small break here, and hopefully by next week we'll find something interesting about this. But overall, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, we'll be right back right after this. The song I'm going to be playing for you will be, let's see, I'm in the, just like this. Let's play a bit of, let's see. You know what? Let's play a little bit of some let's see, Turtles, Turtles in Time thing here. We're gonna play a little bit from the recent album that came out in 2014. I think Turtles in Time, I believe. Yes. Hopefully that I kept the album right, from OC Remix. We'll be playing let's see, I'll be playing the Turtle in the Shredder's Shadow. I'll be playing that, and we'll be right back right after this here live in the Dukect Lounge. Thank you so much for listening to me, Dukect, here live in the Dukect Lounge. Oh, okay, I have another person. Hey, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying the show. We'll probably play a little bit of an OC Remix song for you, and hopefully, and they're gone. Alright, anyway, we're going to play a little OC Remix song. Hopefully it's still there. And we'll be right back right after this. See you on the other side. We are back live here, Dukect Lounge, live on TalkShoe.com, also on YouTube, also on the Freaking Awesome Network, and Screw.com, and on Zipcast.com as well. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, Dukect, here on Dukect Lounge. Well, anyway, if I need to go and talk about something here, is the Order 1886. The PS4 game was going to finally kick things in high gear. Things look interesting. It looks going to be a medieval, some will say medieval Gears of War, which hey, that's not a problem. I like that. But yeah, it's as the reviews keep, yeah, it's not that good. It's not that, it's not that good. Because it's basically 5 hours, for the most. Let's see, I'm looking at all the reviews here, but let me take a look at the, let's see, Metacritic, which, by the way, is a very interesting, got a 3 stars, and a lot of people who look at this say that the graphics is the graphics are great, but yeah, some people really don't critics and the user base scores are really tied here for the most part. 65 on Metacritic and 58, and the reason why is because for the most part, it does not supposedly. Actually, here's something from the user stuff right here. You have, honestly, this one is very interesting. It says, quote, a 7-hour campaign with 3 hours of cutscenes and 2 hours of English rendering quick time events. Is this what qualifies as gaming nowadays? I am truly shocked and disappointed at the state of gaming. No exploration of side activity, no secrets and quests, no side quests and everything else. On top of that, it gives you an incentive to start overlooked historic length, which is 7 hours, and no multiplayer, which is something to me really is a sin, because this game was hyped up, but they didn't have any multiplayer. Again, when you look at something over at, I'm looking at the Metacritic review, and I went over at the Giant Bomb review, which I go over and everything else. And I love this quote right here by Jeff Gertzman. Yes, love this quote right here. The opening says, and I quote, there's a word for games like The Order 1886, rental. And wow, he goes into, there is, exactly, it's saying that it really is short, it's also, it says, it's a technical showpiece, it's a graphical powerhouse, and it's really good, but it's a short, disappointingly straightforward cover-based shooter, which, and sadly, with lots of quick time events, which, it's a shame. And the Order, to me, I looked at the Order, it looks really cool. Because in the Order, supposedly it's going to be the Order of the King Arthur's Knights of the Round Table, which interesting. By the way, we there was just that reminds me a bit of Kingsman, to Secret Service, which they have the same type of whole Knights of the Round Table. By the way, if you haven't seen that movie, Kingsman's Secret Service, see it. It's awesome. Go watch it. It's great. But anyway, it says the Knights of the Round Table still hold sway as men and women who have found ways to extend their lifespans of 200 years. All these justification. In this take, the Knights of this order are battling half-bleeds, lichens, and such, or werewolves, you want to prefer. And, they use, pistols, rifles, and science weapons, and lightning guns, and all that type of stuff to take down these evil, these evil creatures. But, there's not much there. I mean, there's a lot of quick time events, lots of cutscenes, and overall, as I haven't played it, and it looks like I probably was lucky to not get a PS1. It's like, and again, it's something that that really has been bothering me for the past, since honestly the 360, PS3, and next gen consoles have been going for so far, and it's just frustrating to me that the games right now have no soul. Games have no soul. And it's just, it frustrates me because when a game has no soul, there's no real reason. It's just rental after rental after rental after rental. There's nothing here. There's no rent. There's a rental, but that's it. Nothing. There's nothing here, man. I really, there's nothing in a basis with. It seems like the games have gotten bigger, graphics have gotten better, but there's nothing there. There's no soul to these games. Heck, at least back in the last generation, at least they had at least a token multiplayer thing to continue to say at least you had something for the weekend. But now there's no multiplayer. There is no multiplayer at all. There's nothing here. In fact, it's just there's nothing really there. It's $60 that has not. It just feels like it's a short ride that gets in and gets out. There's no real reason why to really buy this game. There's no real reason to buy the Order unless you like the weird type of Halloween type stuff, the weird crazy occult type things. I mean, at this point, I'd rather let y'all buy something more interesting. Like, say, just go buy Undead Nightmare. Go back and just go buy Undead Nightmare from Red Dead Redemption. Buy that in a pack and have fun with that. There is nothing really here, and it's depressing because this is the same thing. I mean, I've waited for console. I'm waiting for that next thing to buy. I mean, this is the reason why I haven't really bought other than a Wii U, I haven't really attempted to buy a brand new next gen console. It's because I don't feel any true purpose to buying one. It just feels like there's nothing there. There's no real meat to it. I feel like only games out there that have meat in them are at this point are JRPGs or something. There's no meat. There's nothing really there. They just sit there and say it's just third person shooters and first person shooters. Nothing with true depth. And I feel that's the problem with this is why gaming and people are going to mobile games because, if they want a cheap experience, they can pay for like $5 or $10. At least say games like say Game of War or this type of stuff, pay to win games. At least it don't cost you an arm and leg. It don't cost you $60+ for this. Again, why should you pay attention to this? Why do you want to buy these things? That to me shows me right here, right there. Why should I buy these games if they're not going to offer me any type of substance? And it's depressing. And that is really depressing. Anyway, that's it for the show this evening. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm sorry I couldn't come end with a happy note, but then again, this is the Dukect TV Lounge, and most of the stuff I end as far as depressing are just maybe just gallows humor. I'm sorry. Maybe I'll try to find more happy stories, or maybe I should. Then let me know in the comments. Anyway, just thank you so much for listening, and hopefully you are enjoying the OC remix music, and also my little TNA Impact type of rantings and stuff while the show's going on. By the way, the Gauntlet is still going on. By the way, in the BDC, the Beatdown Clan, the group of like 1,000 this heel group TNA heel group number 5,643 been taken over and everything. It's just I just want that there's no heel group. That'd be nice, but at least I'll say one thing. At least there's no authority figure sitting around farting around for 30 minutes. At least I have that. Someone give Ring of Honor or Shikara or anyone else a TV deal so I don't have to basically basically buy the WWE network to have a real wrestling show in NXT. That would be nice. That would be really nice. Yeah. Anyway, that's the end of the show. I'm going to stop ranting. This is Dukect T here. Peace and love. I will see y'all when I see y'all later.